This is the first of many talks I hope to be having with you just about every week. If we're going to keep the conversation going, you need to know what I'm thinking.
In the 4 years since the inspectors left, intelligence reports show that Saddam Hussein has worked to rebuild his chemical and biological weapons stock, his missile delivery capability, and his nuclear program. He has also given aid, comfort, and sanctuary to terrorists, including al-Qaeda members. If we in Congress don't end this war before January 2009, as president, I will. The other day, the oil companies reported the highest profits in the history of the world. I want to take those profits. I want to end with her favorite quote, because I love this quote. It's from Mahatma Gandhi. He ran a gas station down in St. Louis for a couple of years.
And I need to know what you're thinking.
Every wing of the Democratic Party on the internet dislikes Hillary in one form or another. The James Webb conservative Democrats grumble about electability and her high negatives. People on the progressive left say that Hillary is not with her on the key issues. And people in the moderate center of the Democratic Party on the internet say that she's not trustworthy. They don't understand why she's running. She's too brittle. She's not politically reliable.
You count now! You count now! You count now!
Protesters interrupted her several times as she gave a keynote speech this morning at Roosevelt University. They demanded the senator join in a call to immediately withdraw troops from Iraq.
And right now, there isn't one of us who isn't thinking about Iraq. That's why I went there recently, to meet with the commanders on the ground, to talk with Iraqi leaders, to speak to the men and women who are fighting this war so heroically. I came back even more determined to stop the president's escalation of troops into Iraq and to start the redeployment of troops out of Iraq. I outlined my plan then and introduced it on Friday. It's called the Iraq Troop Protection and Reduction Act. First, it stops the president's escalation because sending more troops to execute the same flawed plan just makes no sense. We all know that. Why doesn't he? My bill would cap the number of troops in Iraq at January 1st levels. It would be against the law to send more. Congress has done this in other wars. It's the most effective way we have to stop the president's escalation. Second, this bill protects our troops by making sure they are not sent to Iraq without all of the equipment and training they need. The Secretary of Defense would have to certify that to Congress. Promises just aren't enough anymore. After almost 4 years, longer than when we were in World War II, our troops still don't have all the body armor and armored vehicles and other equipment they need. It's a disgrace. Third, this bill puts an end to the blank check for the Iraqi government. We need to give them real benchmarks with real consequences if they don't meet them. They need to weed out sectarian insurgents from their security forces, distribute their oil revenues fairly, and take greater responsibility for their own security. If the Iraqi government wants our funding for their security and reconstruction, it's time for them to earn it. Fourth, we need to convene an international conference. We need to bring other countries together to help forge a stable future for Iraq. And finally, we need to begin a phased redeployment of our troops out of Iraq. I've been pushing for this for almost 2 years. Now it's time to say the redeployment should start in 90 days, or the Congress will revoke authorization for this war. This bill is a roadmap out of Iraq. I hope the president takes this road. If he does, he should be able to end the war before he leaves office. But let's not kid ourselves. From everything we've seen, this president is going down a very different path. He's fighting to escalate the war, not end it. I know we're at the start of a presidential campaign, but I think all Democrats should be focused on working together to push the president to change course. We have to end this war in a smart way, not a Republican or a Democratic way, but a way that makes us safer and gets our troops home as soon as possible. That's what I'll be fighting for. But let me be clear. If George Bush doesn't end this war before he leaves office, when I'm president, I will. Thanks for listening. And please, let's keep the conversation going.